to What's Right with the World with your host, Glenn Ambrose.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to What's Right with the World. So today we are talking about
Subway soccer fields.
This is something my son would probably like.
Yeah, so I know that that you and your son love soccer, and so I thought that this would be a great story to share. So this actually started a few years ago, but it was just covered. I just found a news article that was recent about it, and it's the reason why is because this great idea is growing. So this article comes from FoxNews.com. And it's out of Atlanta. Atlanta's unprecedented subway soccer field is getting global attention. From the street, the city's 5 Points MARTA station, so the local subway stations, just seems like any other subway stop. But then when you go on top of the building, they have built a soccer field. So
Wow.
So what they thought was in places like Atlanta, right? Soccer's really expensive.
Right.
You have to pay to be a part of it. There's field rental, and all of that stuff. And it's on the outskirts of the city. So you have to have transportation to get there as well. So it was ruling out a lot of lower income kids.
Right.
So this soccer nonprofit had the idea to put the soccer field on top of the subway station on the big flat cement roof.
Wow.
So they built it. They built one in Atlanta, and they have a goal to get 10 more.
A goal?
So they have a goal to get 10 more around the city and, in the different neighborhoods as well. And all on top of the subway platforms, so that the subway buildings, so that the kids can use the public transportation that already exists to get to the other fields to play against, other neighborhoods and areas and stuff. And it's really catching on, and a lot of cities are becoming interested in it.
Wow, that's a great thing. Like my son grew up playing soccer since he was like 6. So, we've been around, now he's 17, so we've been around it for quite a while. And I grew up in a town that we didn't have soccer leagues that I knew of. I mean, I grew up in a big hockey town in Massachusetts, So it was like, I didn't grow up playing soccer, but, I've been around the kids playing it, and I just think there's so much to learn through sports about, getting along with other kids, teamwork, plus the physical activity aspect of it, staying in shape, and just having something structured to go to. And I got into a lot of trouble when I was younger, but
No.
I know. But like during football season, I got into the least, like when I was in high school. And even in the summer times and all my spare times other than that, I was always playing sports, basketball and baseball. And if I didn't have that stuff with all that energy and mischievous I had in me, it's like, it was, and I understand that sports aren't for every kid, but for the ones that do enjoy it, I think they really should be able to be exposed to it. And I think soccer is a great thing because it is a lot of running. It tires them out, so it's good physical activity. They've actually shown that kids do better in school when they're playing sports. It helps burn off that nervous energy, and they can focus on their work more too. So there's a lot of benefits to sports, and plus soccer, you got 11 on each side, so you get 22 kids on a field at once. That's a big chunk. There's a lot of kids that can participate all at once. So I think it's just perfect, and the thinking like, hey, we've got this big space, and transportation is a problem, so it's just, I love the creative thinking and the problem solving that we're seeing in this world. It's inspirational.
The nonprofit is called Soccer in the Streets, and so they're trying to, they're looking at the 5 neighborhoods in Atlanta that are a little like segregated, like not purposeful. I don't know. I don't want to get into that, but they have like a subway station that's mostly in an African American neighborhood and mostly a Hispanic neighborhood and mostly a refugee neighborhood and stuff. And they're trying to get those to have stations. And the executive director, or the person in charge of Soccer in the Street, said when they first brought this idea to use this unused space on top of the subway stations, it was considered outlandish and that it would not, unpractical and whatever. But anybody can use those fields, or the field right now, and but it's free for kids, and the leagues are free and everything. So.
Wow. Yeah, that's phenomenal. So soccer can get expensive, I know, especially when they get older. But yeah, that's phenomenal. I think it's a great opportunity for the kids. I think it's, to be exposed. Ignorance is one of the biggest problems, is when we don't understand something, we have fear around it, So having these kids be exposed to other kids of different nationalities more and interact with each other and just, maybe get to know each other a little bit. I'm sure, that they could probably get teams together, like all-star teams and stuff, where you get these kids from different teams playing together on one team. And, that's really one of the great things. It's, like my son played with a lot of the same kids growing up. And then recently he went to a new team with all new kids. He only knew one kid on the team. And it's just been a great experience for him, even at 17, going like, wow, I can just go hop in on a team and just get along with everybody and be a part of something collaboratively. It's inspiring to them, and I think it gives them a lot of life tools that they can use moving forward in a lot of different areas.
One of the people in the article said that he can die happy when he sees a bunch of kids on the subway all dressed up in their soccer
yeah,
uniforms,
that must be cool.
ready to go.
Yeah, that's and it is, and you see these kids running around playing, and it really reminds us of what life's all about. I noticed that. That's why I want to get a dog that could be off leash. It brings me joy just to see a dog running, like free. And my friend's horse I saw the other day that, just running free in wide open space. And it's kids too, running and laughing and just having fun. That's what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Just enjoying themselves. And the ones who like soccer, to be able to have this opportunity is just phenomenal. So kudos to the people who thought it up. And like you touched on, just because you've got a good, innovative idea doesn't mean it's going to be easy. You're going to hit resistance with new stuff. So kudos to these people to keep pushing until, and not just folding when somebody said, nah, this is ridiculous, and just to keep pushing and pushing until it actually became a reality. That's going to benefit and year after year after year. You know how many thousands of kids this is going to touch?
Yeah.
It's just phenomenal. So.
All right. And if you have stuff that you would like us to talk about, use the hashtag What's Right with the World and put it on our Facebook page at the Great Love Project. And that's about it.
So thanks for listening, and keep sharing all the positivity, and let me know if you're an example of positivity. We can highlight you on one of these. If you're doing something that's benefiting others, if you're what's right with the world, let us know. And don't be afraid to pat yourself on the back.
That's awesome. All right. Have a good one, guys.
Glenn is available for life coaching sessions, in person or via phone and Skype. To book an appointment or for more information, go to glennambrose.com, follow him on Facebook and Twitter, or click the link in the description of this episode.
Bye.